Hi, thanks for watching. Although there are many different ways to generate new customer leads for your business, consumer habits have shifted over the last 2 years since the pandemic, and I wanted to show you how you can leverage local internet search volume to bring all the leads you can handle in through your website for free. Well, basically at whatever it costs to keep your site live. Now, all these leads will be coming exclusively to you, unlike third-party sites like Angie's and Home Advisor. And so you can see there's value in it, I'm going to show you the amount of traffic and leads coming to your top competitors in the area so you'll know what to expect. So for comparison, I've taken your website and the top local results when I searched roofing contractor in Uxbridge, as well as next door I did roofing contractor in Franklin. So I take the top ranking companies in all these searches as well as your website, and I put them all into this tool that I use, and it shows me all the information that Google uses to determine your position in the search results. So you can see, based on some of these numbers, why these sites are outranking yours. But let me just briefly go through what these numbers mean. So as we go through your site, you can see what changes need to be made and how they'll affect your rank. So when Google is determining how to rank a website, it uses two factors. The first is what's called the authority or trust that it has in your site. This basically boils down to a popularity contest because this authority is gained when other domains or websites refer back to yours, and then they create a link called a backlink. This acts as an endorsement that Google uses to build trust because others are vouching for you. So to give you a quick example, if say the local news station did an article on their website and it was the top 10 best roofers in Massachusetts, and in that article the reader could click on a link and it would bring them to your website, that would be considered one backlink from one referring domain. Now these backlinks can come from a lot of different sources besides press releases. Those include blogs, editorials, guest posts. One strong and very important type is what's called a citation, and that's any time that your name, address, and phone number are listed in an online directory. Those include Yelp, Yellow Pages, Better Business Bureau, things like that. These directories are usually always free. It just takes some time to find them, register your business, and then input the information exactly as it's shown in Google. So going back to look over the numbers, you can see based on the number of websites that have linked back to them and how many links they've created, how Google is placing more trust and authority in these sites. And there's also a pretty big difference in numbers here. So this also shows a pretty good example that it's not just a sheer matter of quantity. Quality has a lot to do with it as well. So we want to make sure that we're linking back to sites that are relative to your service industry, local, at the very least inside the United States, nothing spammy. It needs to be a trustworthy site that we link to so that way you can get that trust transferred through the link. Now, the second factor for ranking is your content on the page. So if we take a look in here, currently right now you're only being found for 4 different keywords, and they are all we call branded, meaning they already know your business name and they're just searching for you directly. So unfortunately, you're not really getting too many new clients or customers from search. But if we just take a look at one of the competitors, just to kind of show you how this works. These are all the keywords and phrases that are being typed into Google search that are either being found or associated with this site. And then it also shows me the volume and the number of times per month they're being searched. So this is where we do a little bit of research to find the highest volume keywords relative to the services you offer in the areas you want to offer them in. If I narrow this down here to, I'm looking for what I call buyer intent keywords, meaning if somebody's just searching for some of those other keywords about roofing and siding, maybe they're just trying to get an idea or figure out what styles or colors they want. But if somebody's searching for, roofing and a location, that means they're actually searching for a business to hire. So this business is actually out of Boston and they're still outranking in Uxbridge. So let's just get out of the Boston stuff. So if we use it as an example right here, roofing companies, Massachusetts. That's being searched 100 times per month. If this keyword was being found on your page and your page was ranking on page 1, 100 people a month will be searching and seeing your business website. Now, Google Analytics estimates that of total search volume, approximately 10% should convert into a lead. So that means you can be looking at up to 10 leads per month. Now, either calling you directly or filling out your contact form. Now, obviously, you're not going to close every single one of those jobs, and the scope and size and profit margin varies greatly, but you can just see how the sheer volume of leads coming in can definitely add up to some revenue at the end of that month and at the end of the year, and that's just off one keyword phrase. So we repeat that same keyword, that same process for all the highest volume keywords relative to your services in your areas to making sure that you're found for them and ranking for those as well. However, there is a formula that Google uses to find these on your page. So if we go back to the website itself, as far as the layout, I mean, I think it's great. We've got a contact form right here, which is perfect. We got click to call options, which is great because the majority of people are using their mobile devices. And we've got all the drop down menus with everything that people could want to get information on. So layout wise, it's fine. As far as Google is concerned, being a computer, it doesn't care at all about your layout. It's just going to come in and count all the words and text on the page. Now, generally, we recommend having about a minimum of 1,000 to 1,500 words on a home page, just because the more information you have on the site, the more Google views you as an expert, and then the more likely it is to recommend you. Kind of like the difference between a single book and an entire series of encyclopedias. Now, while it's counting all the words, it's also searching for those keywords, so all the services that you offer, and then the areas you want to offer them in. However, this is where the number of words on the page really comes into play, because you can only have one of those keywords for every 100 to 150 words of text on the page. So that means the more services that you want to be found for just means the more information and more content that you'd have to add in order to back it up. Now, furthermore, as Google has made updates, they're really emphasizing the quality of the content on your page, so they're actually reading what's on it now. So in order to qualify for a specific keyword, the 100 to 150 words of text actually has to be describing that keyword. That way Google will pick it up and then bring you up and search for it. So if you want to be found for more services, you'd have to have some content just backing up and describing each different service rather than just having them listed. Then if you want to be found for more than one location, just like you have down here, we've got location back pages, which is absolutely great. The only problem is every single one of these pages is an exact replica. All that's changed is just the location name. So Google is going to view this as what's called duplicate content, which is called canonical. It's just a fancy word for saying that it's duplicate. Google recognizes that it's all the same, so it's not going to add that content and qualify any keywords because it's all duplicate. Even though the location is changed, all the rest of the content on the page is the same. So it's going to count. Potentially one of these pages might get picked up, but unfortunately your locations won't. So what you want to do is have on each one of these location pages have location specific keywords. So it might be roofing, roofer in Bellingham, roofing Bellingham, roof replacement Bellingham. All those specific Bellingham keywords are going to be on this Bellingham page, so that when somebody is searching for any one of those, Google will find this page is 100% relevant, and it'll bring this page up in the search results. Then once they're here, it's the same contact form, it's the same header, the same phone number. It's still going to funnel them to contact you, but this page will come up as opposed to your home page because it's more relevant to the search results. So it's just one of those cues for Google that makes it easier to rank individual pages in different locations as opposed to trying to get your home page to rank across everywhere. So the way that would look in any kind of search, the first thing you're always going to see are ads. Now these are pay per click. They can get pretty costly. From a few dollars to 30 or 40 or $50 per click. This is actually a pretty important section to try to get into. This is what's called the snack pack or the map section. This is fairly location based, so obviously the further you get away from your home area, the harder it is to rank. But this all has to do with your Google business profile. It's got nothing to do with your website. That's a free service from Google. There are ways to optimize that to try to increase your ranking in this list, including filling out as much information as possible, adding some keywords into your business description, getting listed in as many directories as possible. You want to be in more citations than anybody else on the list. And then Google rewards activity. So you want to be posting updates, profile pictures, any kind of services onto your profile on a regular basis. And then for the pictures, we recommend one step further and actually we geotag them. We put a location modifier embedded into the image because Google can't understand what your picture is taken of, but it can understand the file name as well as any information embedded in it. So if we embed a location and somebody near that location is searching, Google will understand that your business is relative because you have a picture posted from there, and it's more likely to bring you up in this section. However, underneath that, this is what's called the organic search results. This is where the more authority or trust that Google has in your site, the higher up in the list that you're going to rank. So this is where getting more of those links or referrals from other websites helps you climb and outrank the competition. Then, regardless of the location, as long as you have that keyword on your site and your site is ranking for it, you will come up in the top of these search results, and then you'll be the first click and the first call and getting all those leads coming into the business. So I hope this information was helpful and it shows you how you can scale some of your online presence. But please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or if you want me to go into any further details. Love to talk about some of your goals for the business and see if there's anything I can do to help. Also, I just always appreciate getting feedback just to find out if information like this was useful. So please let me know what you thought. Thank you, and I appreciate your time.